Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Saints and Titans Week 1 from the Dome this Sunday. Turron Davenport, part of ESPN's NFL Nation, covers the Titans. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here from Nashville. Hey, Turron, we appreciate a couple of minutes, man. How are you?
Oh, everything's good. How are you?
Doing very well. We appreciate the time. Man, I'm so interested in Tennessee. Obviously, everyone's going to talk about the quarterback situation there with drafting a quarterback each of the last 2 years highly, but it still looks like it's Ryan Tannehill's team. How did that play out this year in camp?
It was that way from the start. It was never really any competition. He was the guy that they designated as the starter back even as early as the combine. So it was more a battle for the guys behind Tannehill, Will Levis, Malik Willis, who's going to back him up. And they still haven't named anybody to be the number 2. So that's something that'll probably come out Sunday right before kickoff.
After watching them in training camp and in the preseason, any opinion of either or both of them?
It's really hard to separate the two just because Will Levis, his grade is just pretty much incomplete. He was out for a bit. The joint practices in Minnesota, that Thursday he left at the very end of practice, and he was not really a full participant in any others until this week where he was back, but we didn't see those full ones. But Malik Willis shows some progression, and he's someone that seems to have the inside track for that backup job. So I would say just because of the familiarity with the scheme, just as far as it's different from last year, but similar. So I think that has helped Malik Willis, and then also just some of the things he's able to do just as far as learning to work through the progressions, just making plays with his foot. Those type of things are better.
Turron, I saw on your Twitter earlier today, or I guess X, you got a video of Arden Keyes, former LSU Tiger. Everyone here knows and watched Arden Key play a lot, during his college days. I'm curious. Looks good, man. I'm curious what role he may have this weekend and on this team.
Yeah, Arden Key's going to have a big role this weekend just because he's a part of that pass rush that they look to improve. And then you look at Harold Landry coming back. He just has found a way, and I remember talking to him earlier this preseason and in camp, and he said that he started to learn to take things a little more serious and not just try to get by on athletic ability alone. So you're seeing a wiser player, a guy who's just taking advantage of the opportunity a little more, and he's excited about getting the chance to be a full-time player as opposed to situational how he was in Jacksonville.
Man, he looks like he's in great shape, too. Turron Davenport is our guest, ESPN NFL Nation reporter covering the Titans, previewing this weekend's matchup in New Orleans. We've been talking a lot here this week, Turron, about that Titans run defense, which led the NFL last year, and the Saints running game, which looks like, of course, it's going to be without Alvin Kamara, potentially without Kendre Miller as well. Any reason to think that this Saints offense might be able to move the ball on the ground against Tennessee?
No, I don't really think there is any reason to think that, to be honest with you, because even though Trevor Penning is a really good addition, I like Eric McCoy at center, Jeffrey Simmons, Watch 93, Tierra Tart, they're both guys that are really good at being able to, get that penetration into the backfield and reroute the running back.
Then I'd love a thought on the Titans secondary and how those Saints receivers and Derek Carr might match up against Tennessee's DBs.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the Michael Thomas, Chris Olave show. I think the one that they should be concerned about the most is Rashid Shaheed, just because of the speed that he brings. Olave brings up plenty of it also, but I don't know that they match up really well with those two guys. I think you look at Michael Thomas, they're typically able to match up against those bigger, more physical players like him. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. But I know the Saints will do everything they can to get him the ball and get him involved after being away for so long.
Tyjae Spears, local kid, of course, played at Tulane. A lot of people here watched him play his collegiate career, and obviously was a fantastic running back at Tulane. He's there in Tennessee. What's a realistic expectation for him year one?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be involved heavily in the passing game and the rushing attack. I think he showed that he could be a valid weapon for them. And I mean, number-wise, I don't really have a realistic expectation. I just think he's going to be involved. And, I would say, 10 to 15 touches or so would be something that's reasonable to expect for him.
Special teams. The line is 3 on this game if it comes down to a kick or a play in the third phase. Thoughts on the Titans in the third phase?
That's something that's still to be determined. Nick Folk, he is a guy that, he was 4 out of 5 from 50-plus last year. He's been consistent between 40 and 49. So it's just in year 16, how much will he still be able to do that? That's the main thing. And he's a guy they just got in there. So there's still, some familiarity that needs to be attained as far as that battery is concerned. The long snapper Morgan Cox to the holder Ryan Stonehouse to Nick Folk kicking. And then you also have the aspect of him on kickoffs. Can he get that into the end zone, for the touchback? That's something that he wasn't able to do consistently last year. So will he be able to do that this year? We shall see. I will say the punter is outstanding. He's one of the best in the league, and he's a guy that, he averaged was a 44.6 net yards per punt last year, which was an NFL record.
Turron, before you go, if Mike Vrabel has a blueprint for Sunday for the Titans, how does that go?
It's that first drive on offense, drive down the field, consisting of Derrick Henry, some play-action passes, but take the crowd away immediately. That's really the goal that he has. They want to get off to an early lead and then go in and be able to, build on that lead and slow the game down. Keep it from the track meet that the Saints typically like to have. They work with a lot of tempo on offense, so that's something that they're going to look to do, and I think that's the key to victory. That's the blueprint for Mike Vrabel, not turn the football over, get an early lead, and just load on to that and let that defense do what it has to do.
He is on Twitter at @Davenport_NFL. If you want to give him a follow to get some Titans coverage before the Titans and the Saints square up noon Sunday in the Dome. Turron, we appreciate a couple of minutes, man. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. No problem. Take care.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.